Hello, hello, what's up guys, and thank you for tuning in. Welcome to another weekly crypto market update. As always, I am here with Zero Cool. How are you, my friend?
Hello, hello. I'm still alive, I guess. What a interesting day it was yesterday.
In crypto, it's always interesting. So yeah, let's talk about it.
All good.
All good.
Yeah, crazy day, I guess, yesterday. We kind of had FTX 2.0, I think. Sort of, but not really.
Yeah, not really. I think ByBit handled it crazy well. And so we're going to talk about this right now. So for the people who don't know what we're talking about, it's basically this. So North Korea, the Lazarus group, they hacked ByBit for $1.4 billion. And there was a researcher with the name ZachBTC, so he thinks, and it's basically confirmed that it's North Korea behind it, the Lazarus group. And at the beginning was not looking good. So ByBit, they were looking for loans from all the other exchanges, to scraping for money because there was a small bank run going on. But to me, they handled it super good. And I think the dust is settled and it looks kind of over everything. So basically what happens was, this is a thread which explained it very well. So like I said, Lazarus is a state-backed North Korean hacking group. And this is also a very good video from ByBit, so let's have a look at that.
What happened is the signing message was not to changing the address or the destination or the amount of this specific transfer that we approved. The hacker changed that transaction into upgrading or changing the safe smart contract logic, so that he gained control over the whole code, over that specific Ethereum Genesis safe, and so that he can transfer these funds out. What happened is the signing
So it was basically just a social engineering hack, and like you said, it raises a little bit of question: was it maybe an insider that did it? Because it was just social engineering. They needed 4 people to sign the message because it was a multi-sig private key. So yeah, like you said, maybe it's an inside job or social engineering. And currently they have 0.4% of all the Ethereum, which is crazy. It's more than the Ethereum Foundation itself. It's more than Vitalik. It's more than Fidelity. It's crazy. So at the moment, everyone is thinking, okay, does Ethereum need to, how do you say it, fork the chain to go back to the day before the hack? But that's crazy. They did that in 2016 with the DAO hack, and I think if they do it now, Ethereum will just die. But then on the other hand, there will probably be a lot of lawyers trying to force the Ethereum Foundation to roll it back, because of course now they're just funding North Korean hackers, which is also crazy to think about. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
I don't think they will roll back the chain. Like you said, it will kill Ethereum. And there was a parity contract bug somewhere for like 1.1 million Ethereum that's gone, poof, gone. So they didn't roll back then either, while they could have. So I don't see the difference between an actual contract bug and a hack here.
Yeah, and although it's in Ethereum that they hacked it, but I think it's, and this maybe weird to say, I think it's bullish for Ethereum, because one, they won't sell it immediately in the markets. Like you say here, all the hacks that they did before, they don't sell this out immediately. They do it very, very slowly, if at all. And now the thing is, ByBit needs to buy back 1.4 billion in Ethereum, which is crazy. And you had something to say about that as well, Zero Cool?
Yeah, I also think it's bullish. Basically, they are short 1.4 billion and they need to cover that at one point. So they themselves has an incentive to keep the price as low as possible. So that would be create market manipulation to keep the price down of Ethereum. But on the other hand, every other single market participant, including their competitors, have an incentive to get the price up as high as possible and make ByBit pay as much as possible for that Ethereum. So yeah, for me, that creates a narrative of why we could go to all-time high, because ByBit needs to buy back 1.4 billion. Well, we say 1.4 billion. That's in current dollars. If Ethereum goes to 4K from here, that's like $2.1 billion, right? So it's 400,000 Ethereum that they need to buy back.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, apparently in dollar amount, this is the largest financial hack in the history of the world. In all the bank hacks, crypto hacks, this is the largest hack in history.
Yeah, and then if we look at Bitcoin, it dropped a couple of percent. Ethereum's already like recovering to where it was earlier, so
which is crazy because I have
It's
other
insane.
FUD lined up as well. One thing I just want to mention about this, I bookmarked it just a couple of minutes ago. So Chain Flip Labs said that the hackers tried to move the funds via Chain Flip from Ethereum to Bitcoin because they know that the amount is that big that maybe there's a small percent chance that Ethereum is going to roll back the chain. So they tried to move it to Bitcoin, and the Chain Flip tried to block it, but they're not sure if they can 100% block it. Like they say, it's still fully decentralized with 150 nodes. So yeah, I'm not sure how this is gonna fold out over the next couple of days, but at the moment, crypto is doing well. ByBit recovered. Everything is looking good.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of FUD and stuff thrown at the market the last 3 weeks, like you had the AI, deep tech AI shaking up the AI sector. Then you have Trump 2 weeks in a row with tariffs. Now you have this. The fact that we're not like at zero, so to speak, is quite remarkable, and just shows strength or appetite. And then I'm getting flashbacks to 2017 summer, I believe, where we're trending or trading at 6,000 Bitcoin, $6,000 at Bitcoin for an extended period of time in the 6,000 iron support wall. And then when that wall finally broke down, we went down like 40-50% almost. So kind of PTSD towards that. But on the other hand, it's super strong, right? If this doesn't break crypto and doesn't make it tumble over, what will?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's super crazy strong. And so the last thing I want to say about this is that Zach EBT, he just found today that this hack is connected, well, the wallets are connected to the FEMEX hack, which happened, I think, in September, which was a hack of $69 million as well. So also the Lazarus group. And then as well, just 2 hours ago, that it's also linked to the Bing X hack. I think the Bing X hack was something from 2022 or something. So it's it's crazy that this group, this North Korean hacker group, is responsible for all the latest crypto hacks, which is super crazy. Especially that this is now just a social engineering hack, but they managed to pull it off. It's super crazy. But to me, props to ByBit, because if this was any other exchange, they would have just paused their withdrawals. Now ByBit just continued business as usual, which is crazy bullish. I think ByBit will come out this stronger and more popular than before.
The response was a masterclass in management on how to respond to a crisis. It was done perfect. I've read a thread somewhere. Instant response from the CEO, not some intern behind the logo on Twitter. A response from the CEO, response from the official account, immediately a live stream with the CEO, with graphics, with I'm gonna be right back. We're gonna take a 5-minute break with a counter. Just almost admirable how well they handled it, and I trade on ByBit, and they deserve my business for this.
It's also nice to see that all the exchanges were putting funds together to support this. So this is quite bullish for the future. Because with FTX, we didn't see that. That was more hostile. That was basically Binance and CZ that put FTX down.
Well, they lined him alone, but there's a big difference between this and FTX, right? FTX was corrupt.
Yeah.
It was mismanaged. They had unliquidatable positions open into the billions. This was just a hack where they lost funds. And they're a very profitable company. Crypto is one of the most profitable spaces in the world. If you look at the earnings report of Coinbase, they rake in millions on fees. This puts a dent in their earnings, but that's about it. They're not insolvent.
Yeah, I think
So,
I read something that
bullish.
they earn something about 800 million every month. Maybe it's not net profit, but at least they will get the money back very quickly.
I think this sets another narrative for Ethereum to go up. And I know I'm going to keep saying this until we're back at 4K, I guess, because it's been so tiresome the last 3 weeks after that nuke. I was bullish before the nuke and I was bullish after the nuke, but it is really weighing on my mental or my capacity to keep being bullish. Because Ethereum was looking good before the fucking hack.
True. GM Rich, Jedi, how are you, man? All right, so moving on. I don't know if you read this, but there was another FUD yesterday which dropped basically the S&P and the Chinese stock market. So in China, the Wuhan researchers discovered a new virus similar to the COVID-19 pandemic, also from bats. I don't know if you saw this. And on this news, the Chinese stock market dropped by a lot, I think, and the S&P dropped by 1% as well. And it's crazy to me. So we saw this news report of a new coronavirus, the ByBit hack. And if you look at Bitcoin, it's up on the day, and Ethereum also almost up 3%. Super crazy. Super crazy. So about the virus, so it's basically, it didn't spread yet, but apparently it's more deadlier than the coronavirus, but it's from the same type. And it's potential to spill over to humans. But it didn't go over to humans yet, but I hope they will contain it. And if you see on the news report, the stocks, I don't know if I can open this. Yeah, the stocks dropped immediately. This is, I imagine, the Chinese stock market, so they dropped immediately, but the S&P dropped as well. We can have a look at the S&P. And the thing is, mRNA and Pfizer, they searched on the news. That's super crazy to me. That the big healthcare companies then pump on the news that there's a new virus. It's so crazy to me.
It's great. It's tiresome, honestly. I mean, what needs to happen for Ethereum to go back to normal prices? Because to me, it's trading at a discount.
BTC was pumping, and then China said, "Okay, let's put out the virus. Let's hack ByBit." Because
it's almost like 2017, 18, where that South Park meme of China bans Bitcoin, and they say, it's never gonna work again if we announce the same news, and they announce the same news, and Bitcoin goes down a little.
No, but this coronavirus, I don't know. The only thing that scares me is that the S&P dropped on it as well.
It looks dirty. It looks bad.
Almost 2%. So we'll see. We'll see. It's weekend. We'll see about on Monday what will happen. But at the moment, Bitcoin is looking strong, Ethereum is looking strong. So it's weird to me. And I think the reason is, and so let's now go over to the next thing. This happened as well, and this was only 2 days ago, but everyone already forgot it. So Trump said, and I'll just show the video, the first couple of minutes, so it's super clear because, yeah, this is the source. So let me play the video.
I've signed executive orders to keep the United States at the forefront of artificial intelligence and to end Joe Biden's war on Bitcoin and crypto. We ended that war totally. That war is over. They were very hostile toward them until the very end, just because they're...
So yeah, he just says that he signed an executive order to end the war on crypto, which is super bullish, of course. And we saw it in this week already, a lot of very good crypto native legislation coming. So, for example, immediately afterwards, or maybe just before, we saw the Coinbase saying that the SEC will drop their lawsuit, basically, and they explained this here in this blog post. I'm not going to read it all the way, but the TLDR is the SEC staff has agreed in principle to dismiss its unlawful enforcement case against Coinbase. So this is not 100% confirmed news yet, but I'm pretty sure it's like 99% confirmed, because else Coinbase will not write a whole blog post about this.
Yeah, they wouldn't risk putting out false information that could hurt them in the case, right? Bullish for crypto. I'm a bit torn between where I would invest new capital, because currently I'm leaning into nuclear stocks and then uranium, isotope, stuff like that. I think long term that has insane potential, but with the amount of good crypto news, short term crypto also will have upside. The
Yeah,
question is for how long.
this is super good for crypto, and you see just immediately, because this is my next tab I wanted to show. You see just ETFs coming every day, every single day. There's a new ETF filing. So let's just have a look. So we all know last week we talked about the Litecoin one, but even just I think it was this morning or yesterday that they acknowledged the Solana ETF, XRP ETF. I think 1 or 2 days ago they acknowledged the 21 shares staking ETF. Where is it? I think it's somewhere in this article. Well, it doesn't matter, but every day or every 2 other days we see very bullish news that there is some progress in the ETF filings, and I think everything will go much quicker than we used to before, because when was it when the ETF was announced last year? It took so long. I think now everything will be accelerated, and over the next few weeks we will see a lot of altcoin ETFs, and to me the alt season will begin, because this is yeah, like, and so this is all following up on what Trump said. The war on crypto is over, and I think we will begin to notice it. I think we will begin to notice it on all the ETF filings, on the Coinbase stopping their case against the SEC. So that's all bullish, and I think this is one of the reasons that we didn't drop yet. The next reason, which is one of the more important ones macro-wise, so let's go over now a little bit to the macro. Oh, I lost my mouse. Is here, and so basically in the Fed minutes, several participants suggest halting or slowing balance sheet reproduction pending debt ceiling resolution. So basically what this means is that they will probably end QT, which was necessary for asset markets to pump, because at the moment the Fed was taking liquidity out of the system day after day, so which was not good. And so here you said it as well, the headline from Blockwords, FOMC minutes hint at the end of quantitative tightening. And this is a very good post from Thomas, so I want to go over this real quick. So to me, this is one of the best macroeconomic guys on Twitter. So if you don't follow him, you can follow him right here. And basically what he said was, and that's just what I read just before. So regarding the potential for significant swings in reserves coming over the months related to debt ceiling dynamics, various participants noted that it may be appropriate to consider pausing or slowing balance sheet runoff until the resolution of this event. And they will not say this just like that, because the minutes, like Thomas says, the wording must be approved by all members of the FOMC. So they will not say random words like that. It's carefully constructed. So they will most likely, well, it's almost sure, and this is why crypto stayed up and didn't drop, in my opinion, because the end of QT is near. And so the next thing I want to show is a little bit lower. And here it says, let's be clear, more liquidity is always coming. And this is also where I always talk about that there is this massive debt wall, and debt needs to be refinanced. And so over the coming weeks to months, when QT is finished, when the debt will get financed again, there will be so much liquidity into the system. And to me, alt season starts when liquidity is abundant. And that's something Lab for Crypto is saying. So this is just the Fed liquidity next to the Bitcoin price. I don't know why I did the Bitcoin price. I just want to show this to show the Fed liquidity. So as you guys see, the Fed liquidity is trending downward, so there is less and less Fed liquidity. That's why global liquidity is having a hard time. But when QT stops, when liquidity will be abundant, then alt season will start, in my opinion. And so now let's go over then to the thing to liquidity. And at the moment, what happened is global liquidity rose by 669 billion last week, and at the moment it's sitting at 173.7 trillion US dollars. You see it a little bit better on this chart. Here you can see it a little bit better. So liquidity is at the moment in an uptrend. And so yeah, as we all know, gold and crypto is super sensitive to global liquidity, which is basically monetary inflation. And you see it as well. You see it, gold is making all-time high after all-time high. And this is just because of that. And why isn't crypto making moves? And I posted this in Discord a few days ago. And basically, it's just because there is global liquidity, which is supporting the financial conditions, which is supporting the stocks, but liquidity is not abundant. And more risk assets. So like crypto is still, you can turn it how you want. It's still one of the most
Very risky.
risky assets in the world. And these assets perform best when liquidity is abundant, which means when there's so much excess liquidity that the liquidity
it trickles
will,
over.
to risk
trickles over
assets.
from stocks, gold into more niche stuff like crypto. Because make no mistake, crypto is still very niche.
Yeah.
You might live it and breathe it for 10 years already. It is still very niche, and it still has in a pretty negative daylight. If you ask your friends outside of crypto what they think of, like when you say Bitcoin or crypto, it still has a negative connotation, which is absurd, but that's a different story.
Yeah, and so the reason is just because of the US dollar. And like I said, week after week, I think it will follow the same exact path as it did when Trump was in office in 2016. The dollar will just continue to drop because Trump wants it to drop. So yeah, that's about it for me. So global liquidity still going up, not enough yet, but I think it will accelerate way more when QT will end, which will probably be around June, maybe earlier. But now the Fed admitted that they want to stop QT, and if they stop it, they will not restart it immediately. So it will be stopped for at least the coming months to even maybe a couple of years. So which is good. The last thing I want to touch about, and then you can we can go over to Zero Cool's TA. So last week we memed a little bit about the seasonality, that the 7th week of the year was the best week of the year, and that it usually rises by 7%. And well, it's green. With all the FUD that happened, there was a new coronavirus. ByBit was hacked for $1.4 billion. And still, this week, Bitcoin closes in the green. So the 7th week conspiracy is still going strong. Not plus 7%, but it's still green.
Well, it is Saturday. We still have a day and a half to gigapump, I guess. I don't know. At this point, really bad news is not bringing crypto down. Very positive news, as in legislation news mostly. I think Utah is really close into signing that Bitcoin reserve into actual action. I think they're the closest state. Utah specifically doesn't mention Bitcoin. They mention digital assets above a market cap of 500 million, which is mostly Bitcoin. Of 500 million, 500 billion, one of the two. I don't know. I don't know them by heart for each state, but they're very close to signing that into, and that's just more buying pressure. It's not going down on bad news. It's not going up on good news. As you can see, week 5, 6, and now 7, it's pretty flat, which is impressive. Seeing what has happened in the last weeks. And yeah, I still truly believe the good days are ahead of us. And the same with like the last range, right? We consolidated for 8 months, and then we had a 50% leg up on Bitcoin. The longer we consolidate, the higher this goes.
So yeah, we can go over to your TA. I didn't really want to talk about this. This was basically just a recap and to see where we were, because we talked about this last week. So I'm gonna show your screen. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah. Guys, so I'll zoom in just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, it's still a range, believe it or not. The only thing that I changed, I think, is on a higher time frame. I think I used the daily. The box used to be drawn like this at the bottom of the wick, and I changed it to just the candle instead of the wick, because I do keep saying that you need to, or that I use candle closest and not wicks, because wicks can differ per exchange. But yeah, it's still a giant range, and I'll keep saying it week after week. The longer we range, the higher we go. This is nothing different than this. It's just a range, and then we expand out of the range. And I believe one of the most famous market structures is this one. You range, leg up, you range, leg up. This leg up is higher than this leg up. You range, and then you start breaking down, and you close below this range and go down. So yeah, this makes sense. The big question is, I think it's a macro question and not just crypto related, are we going into a period of time where we have basically up only for 5 to 10 years, where it doesn't matter what you touch, everything will appreciate in value? And then we go into doom and gloom, dark recession times? Or does that happen sooner, within a year and a half? Because I still, unfortunately, truly believe we'll see dark times ahead. Just like we had in the 1930s. The 20s were super prosperous. Everything went up. Everybody was quote unquote rich. I think history often rhymes. Doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And yeah, I think I asked the same question last stream. We're going up only for years on end, or are we gonna top within 6, 12, 18 months and start trending down? I think that's the first question you need to answer for yourself. And if you've answered it, allocate appropriately. Like, let's say this is the macro top and we go down only for 10 years. Are you able to survive in that regime of negativity for 10 years? If not, you should probably not be allocating money in crypto. If you can, then yeah, you can play riskier, because we said crypto is a very risky asset. It's very volatile. I mean, this chop doesn't look volatile, but that's because there's new legislation, ETFs buying up the wazoo. And again, if we had the news we had yesterday, if that happened pre-ETF, we would have been trading at 80K. I can almost guarantee you that. And partially because ETFs and buying pressure of the market, but also ByBit having a really good response. Now, we're here for TA. I'd like to note, like last time, if we draw a silly vertical line at like 96,450-ish, the amount of absorption here, like we close down, shoots up immediately. We idle it down, we sweep this low, poop, close above it again. And then we test this mid-range. We were breaking out, denied, swept this low, and closing down. Like, we honestly think we trend like this and go this.
Do you have the VWAP on your trading view?
No, I think
because it's super weird. I'll show it real quick on my screen. So basically, the line that you drew. Can you see my screen?
I can if I switch to here.
So basically, where the most volume is being traded is exactly the support that you were drawing, the line of support where Bitcoin always bounces off, which is super remarkable to me.
Yeah, it's probably become that line because we've been trading there for 3 weeks, right?
Also probably true.
I think it's a volume node, not VWAP, by the way, that you're showing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, VRVP. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Volume weighted volume profile, basically. That's what that indicator is. It's on trading view to the left over here. Yeah, just want to say, this seems to be iron support. Every time we close below it, there's pushback to get above it. It's a ball that's being kept underwater, and the longer you keep it underwater, or the deeper you keep it underwater, it shoots up higher. There is a legit possibility that we do test like 93 to 92 and sweep those lows from Tuesday. But I don't see why. I mean, what more can they throw at us besides the second biggest exchange getting hacked?
Well, the S&P is negative. Bitcoin is still in the cloud, so I don't know. It's possible.
I agree. If tomorrow at 10 p.m. European time, I think, if the stocks open, like the pre-market open, and it gaps down and it keeps going down, you'll see a reaction on Bitcoin. Because I believe that's also how the coronavirus crash of the 12th of March started. the futures gapped down and kept going down. And then the response was, are we going to shut down air traffic and naval around the world to stop spreading the virus? And that's what cascaded to liquidation.
But on the when the WHO said that they acknowledged the coronavirus as a global pandemic, then everything.
Yeah. I think that was the 12th of March, and that was, I want to say, Tuesday or Wednesday. But for now, for the setup, because that's why we're here, right? We're going to find the setup. Two possibilities. I think it might, worst case scenario, sweep this low. I'm going to do weak magnet. Just sweep this low, like this. Something like this, and to the Monday, I wouldn't open a trade now. I would wait for Monday to print a little bit, and then around stock open, fade to move what the stock open is doing. I'm not going to go in detail. I think pretty famous crypto traders Fullis always posts it. Within 30 minutes of stocks opening on a day, there's a trend. So let's say, or something here. So let's say this line is when the stocks open. Bitcoin price does this. Within 30-minute window here, you have either your bottom or your top, and then it goes to the other direction. If it's different, it goes down. 30-minute window. This, and then it reverses. I would wait for this 30-minute window to open a position. I wouldn't open it in the weekend. Just give stocks 30 minutes to figure out where they're going. Stocks would be tracked with this SPX on trading view. This is open and close, the big volume candles, by the way. So it opens 10:30. One more, 10:30 my time. This was maybe a bad example, but you'll see if you do this on Bitcoin, it probably went up like this. You have your line, it dabbles a little bit more around a 30-minute window, and then it starts going down. And your 30-minute window would be this here, and then it starts doing a trend. That's what I would wait for. It's too volatile, too risky to allocate. There's a tweet that I wanted to show, but I don't have it open. We're not out of the clear yet with ByBit, right? They assume they know what was compromised and what happens. It might not be the case, it might be worse. I don't think we'll ever know the full detail of it. I would use a little bit of caution at these prices.
Right.
But yeah, that's it for crypto, for Bitcoin for me. I'd wait until Monday stock open to touch this.
I don't think we're gonna cover alts today because basically for myself I didn't buy any new altcoins. So if you want to know my altcoin picks, just go watch our latest live streams. The only thing that I bought a little bit of is the meme coin I made a video about. So you can check that out if you want. But yeah, I think it was good, and maybe let's go over to the predictions. They're cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
My screen. All right, it's here. Okay, I'm sorry, my friend, but 17-11.
Jesus Christ. I remember a time where I was running away with the score.
You had like 8-2 or something at some point.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're gonna go up. I think the response on the hack on the coronavirus is super strong. It means crypto is super strong. QT is especially good for crypto. Like I said, crypto needs liquidity to be abundant, to be more liquidity than needed. QT will be able to do that. So I think we're going to go up, and I think we're going to see 99K.
I'm gonna keep my black line where it is. And funnily enough, I do think if we didn't have the ByBit hack and the coronavirus, whatever virus news we had yesterday, I truly believe we would be trading at 103,000 today. Because I think we were on the verge of breaking out, and it looked all positive for a next.
We were going to go above the clouds.
Yeah. So also, it's pretty remarkable that we've been in the cloud for I don't know 2 weeks at least. And normally a flat cloud at the bottom is a magnet, but it's super resilient. But yeah, 103K. We'll see next week. Hopefully we get out of this range and we start trending again, because I don't know, last range of 8 months I was pretty okay mentally. Wrong thing to say. I'm always okay mentally, or I try always to be okay mentally. But this is very tiresome. It is really hard to trade crypto right now. And props on you if you're profitable. Not a lot of people are profitable in this market. You have scalpers who are pumping out the wazoo right now, but most traders are by default not profitable. In these market conditions, they're definitely not profitable. I think I took 4 trades since the 2nd February nuke. So that's in like 18 days, I took 4 trades, 3 break even and 1 loss. That's how bad it's been.
No, but it's good that you mentioned psychological a little bit, because crypto is super hard, one of the most difficult games there is at the moment. So if any one of you viewers just want to talk to me or Zero Cool, it can be about the markets. It can just be something personal, psychological, just messages on Discord and Twitter. I'm sure Zero Cool will gladly answer every question you have or just want to talk about. So no problem.
We can talk about whatever. The nuke we had on the 2nd of February, I'm sure it was nasty. It was really nasty because alts dropped and Bitcoin didn't drop. Like I said last week or the week before, I think it's the first time I saw alts drag down Bitcoin on a big level. And yeah, if you get liquidated and you lose money and you need the money to survive, super hard. And we're here to talk if you want to.
And if not, we'll see you on next week on the live stream.
Yeah.
So let's call it here, Zero Cool. Again, Zero Cool, thank you very much for joining me. I hoped everyone enjoyed the stream. I hope you like it. But thanks anyway for viewing, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, guys.
We used some new text, so if there's any issues with that, please let us know. We have a Discord. Join up. Let us know.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.